Oh.
Oh, this blew my eardrums out. Okay.
I could have yelled. I'm watching someone watch Lord of the Rings for the first time, and that's frustrating.
Nice.
What is this game?
I will explain in just a moment. I'm checking.
I'm
audio
intrigued.
levels. Yep. Okay, we're good. So Kentucky Route Zero is an ethereal point and click style, just really weird vibe game that I have yet, after 4 acts, to figure out the like meaning, I guess. It seems like it has some kind of like hidden meaning behind it that if you like think about it enough you'll figure it out, but I've only come up with ideas.
You haven't done
So
any.
you play as a dude and his dog, and he's a delivery guy, and you're taking Kentucky Route Zero, this weird like supernatural route, and you meet people along the way, and so far they've all been ghosts.
Oh.
So my like thing, they're not. I don't think they've all been ghosts, but most of them have, and it has this like really like kind of supernatural vibe to it. So my thinking is that it's kind of like a journey of this guy through maybe like his entrance into the afterlife. It doesn't explicitly say he's dead or dying, but it kind of implies it, and he's meeting a bunch of ghosts along this weird supernatural highway. So it sure does seem like that.
So you haven't looked up anything about this game other than you just like played it and
So
that was.
it was released in 5 acts. The 5th act was released this year, January. And I didn't play it yet, so that's why I wanted to stream it. I played the first 4. They're very good, some better than others. The only real thing that this game suffers from is pacing. Sometimes it's very slow, but there's a lot of interesting stuff going on in it. So we'll see together what Act 5 is like. But yeah, it's a weird game for sure.
Yeah, I just 4th best game of the decade, 3rd best game of the decade.
People love it because it's kind of
It's like indie-ish.
indie. Yeah, it's a little bit full of itself and at points, which people that critique games love. I definitely won't forgive it or try to sell it off as anything but a little bit full of itself, like I said. But when it's doing it right, it feels good. It's cool. Okay. So I think I had already like started Act 5 kind of. So it might start. I'm hoping it starts at the beginning. I don't know how far into it I was. I wasn't very far though. Yeah, okay, we're at the beginning. Scene 1. A town.
A town. It's gotten a lot of awards though.
Mm-hmm.
Or nominations. It's got 3 awards and like 8 nominations.
So yeah, some of the key things about it that are really good are it has an incredible soundtrack. It has really enticing visuals that are really well done and like super artsy. And I think
Yeah,
that's like two of the biggest things that
yeah.
have kind
It
of
said
won it over.
visual art. It
Yeah,
won 2 awards for.
exactly. So it's got a lot of that going for it, but also, as far as like what I was saying, the meaning of the game, you can go read as many articles as you want on people's interpretations of the game, and I think that's another reason it was popular. Is just because kind of leaves it up to you on what you decide. If it's like it doesn't try to hammer home any story or anything, but
Okay.
but it's neat. It's like just focusing around the interactions with the people. And now I'm a cat apparently. Well, no, I'm a dragonfly, but
I was like,
I don't know
yeah,
what's
dude.
happening. What's this over here? 6 or 7 men stood in the sun about a dozen yards from the ditch, and he could hear them laughing. He tried not to hear them. Instead, he listened to the shovel punching through the dirt as he shaped the trench. It was wet dirt, mud really. It made a hungry sound as he shaped the trench walls. That's ominous. Another great word to describe this game. It's incredibly ominous. At times, it is very close to being on the verge of a horror game.
It definitely has like that sort
just
of
just
like
because it's so.
feel.
Oh,
Yeah.
I can click one of these. Glare from the noon sun made his sinuses tingle. The trench was a foot wide now. By the time he was done, he expected it to be about twice that, and run most of the way from the middle of town over to where it could drain off into the creek.
So you click a word and it like chooses a.
Well, so that's not the primary focus of this game. There's
Yeah.
little there like every time you go to a new chapter or a new section or even like in between chapter scenes, you get different mechanics that do different things. Like there was a whole exploring a mine shaft thing while I was in a mine cart, and you would click left and right. But there was a turntable in the middle of the mine, so you could go down different halls. And if you turned it, the whole scene turned like in 3D. It was wild.
Okay.
So just a lot of little things adding up to be a cool game.
Interesting. Greedy chunks.
I guess these dudes are laughing at this dude or something. I don't know what's happening. He's digging a hole though. Oh, they're gone now. Go check out this mailbox? No. This bird? Slow-mo crow.
No, okay.
What's this?
Who's your cat friend? It's just all.
Whoa. Sleepy time. Elmo gave Rita a tour of the cameras and wiring. She'd just been through a certification program on public broadcasting at the community college, so no surprises there. Nikki showed her the video databank. James demonstrated the Sandin image processor, and then Ron came barreling in with an urgent expression. The station had a great collection of videotapes made by local artists, along with a huge library of what looked like home movies. There were tapes about local politics, the weather, video dream diaries. Rita was eager to start contributing her own work. Ron's news was clearly bad news. Rita's heart sank a little as they listened. She knew things were unraveling, knew from experience what that looked like. But as she listened to Ron detail the power company's sudden withdrawal from town affairs, she heard other possibilities. She studied their faces and found concern, for sure, but also something like relief, hope, and awakening of play. Nikki looked like she might have been daydreaming. So, yeah, this seems like its own like kind of story going on, and there's a lot of like disjointed stories that kind of come together with familiar themes, or similar themes. One of the things I found when in one of the previous chapters was really cool. There was these people underground making this video game that was like a perfect simulation of real life, and they were obsessing over it. It was wild.
Yeah. That does get people thinking if they're trying to make a perfect simulation of life, then maybe they aren't in real life.
Yeah, all kinds of like questions like that come up when you're playing through it and listening to these people talking and stuff. It's really great. Ready to step out of the company's shadow and build something of their own. Ron said the TV station would still be funded by court order. Could that be their anchor? Ron Perlman? Ron Burgundy? I meant Ron Burgundy. He's the anchor. Okay, we're going over here. Oh, Ezra. I know an Ezra. Feel free to take over any of these voice lines. I'm just reading the narration at this point. At first, they only observed the truck from a distance. It was an alien carcass, something that made more sense in death than in life. The company had dropped it off in the middle of the day when everyone was at the plant. They let it sit overnight, alone and strange. Nikki thought it was ridiculous, but Ron approved. To Elmo, the truck was simply beautiful.
There's a lot of names right there.
Yeah, these are just like I don't know these people any more than you do. There's no background here. We're in a completely different scene with this chapter. I'm kind of wondering where it's gonna go.
Does the story change depending on
That's a good question. I guess you get different. You definitely probably get different snippets of speech because they do similar things in other chapters where when you select a thing, it'll give you like an interaction between people. You can also like choose who to interact with in different scenes. Town didn't produce much garbage anyway, she said. Who would drive it and where? The locals had turned to gardening when the company store stopped stocking canned vegetables, so there was very little garbage to be hauled off anymore. Everyone had to agree this was money and attention that would have been better spent addressing the town's drainage problem, maybe finally started on that damned messianic ditch. Still, they had a few things to dispose of: broken flower pots, empty glass bottles, clothes that didn't fit anymore. They gradually fell into the habit of collecting waste and carrying it to the truck. Once a month, some shadows would come in from the night woods and haul the garbage away on cart. That's horrifying. Once a month, some shadows would come in from the night woods and haul the garbage away on a cart. Okay. But yeah, you see, like, there's definitely some weird
there's
differentiation between people, shadows. The guy that you play as, for the most part, which we haven't seen yet, has a prosthetic limb that he has to get replaced, and to you it looks like a glowing skeletal appendage. To everyone else it looks fine, but like when you're playing as him, that's what it looks like, and I think it's meant to like signify the fact that it's wildly out of place for him and he doesn't feel comfortable with it.
Yeah, and there's that whole thing where people who have like are missing like limbs or whatever.
Phantom pains.
Yeah, the phantom limbs.
Yeah.
Where it feels like it's still there.
Yeah, so the vision you see is like a skeletal limb. Oh yeah, so see, the scene is just like rotating, even though it feels 2D until you do that. Oh hey, I know these guys. So you go hang out with these guys for a while, and you get to experience a concert that they put on because they're musicians and also partners, and they hang out with your main character. So I guess we're gonna go around and meet some of the people I've already met in the other chapters.
So currently you are a dragonfly.
Yes, you do pop around and control different characters. So here's all of that stuff we just read was actually a lot of words for this game. Kind of a slower pace. Here's what you normally see, where it's like a conversation and you're picking conversation options. And sometimes, like if it's two people talking, you'll get to select either one person's response or the other, and that like kind of drives the narrative. It's really interesting. So there's that weird sleepy singing again. It's like two people talking, but not to each other. I hear a sleepy singing. It's kind of reverent. A choir, maybe? Two songs overlapping, but the same singers in each group.
Hey, you need a stream buddy?
Jen's in here, but yeah, jump on in. It's gonna be a wild ride.
Yeah,
All right.
it's a fun game so
I've
far.
I've spent the first 20 minutes explaining this game to Jen, and she probably has no idea what I'm talking about yet.
I mean,
All right.
it's just one of those
It's
games.
very abstract and indie, so you kind of have to take it with a grain of salt.
No problem.
Johnny shades his eyes with his hand. You think the truck's okay down there? Wait, what?
Why is the truck down there?
Yeah, what the heck? Any thief could get it started. Sure, I doubt any thief could get it started.
So you're basically
swirly
writing
button.
your own, like...
Yeah, you're kind of writing the narrative as you play with the choices you
you
make.
That kitty, though, it's so cute.
Oh, the cat meowed down the cave.
Meow.
Yeah, the meow button.
Wait, do you get to go down there, or, like, what's happening?
The symbol keeps changing as he meows differently. I don't know what I'm doing. Welcome to Kentucky Route Zero.
You just keep pressing a button
Until
anymore?
something happens. I've meowed down the hole successfully. And apparently there's a truck down there.
Oh, there's also stairs going up. I'm curious how a
I
truck...
don't know if I can get over there because of the trash, though.
Yeah.
Do I know these people? I don't know who these people. Might know these people. Clara, now you're returning to Chicago? Maya, just taking one last look. At what? You said you were sketching? Researching? Not much left to look at, is there?
Is there sketching and researching? Those are like two different...
Yeah. Well, kind of.
I guess, yeah.
Ancient earthwork. Yeah, we're in some kind of spiral, if you haven't noticed. That's why the whole scene is spinning as we move around. And why I guess that button was a spiral.
Okay. I have no prior knowledge of this game, so I'm just kind of...
Neither do I at this point. So far, it is disconnected from the other chapters I've played up till now, except for those two characters that were talking about the truck at the bottom of the well, because I met them earlier when I went to one of their concerts. But yeah, this game is crazy abstract. It's off the wall.
So they're aware of the... Wait, why did they build this huge spiral?
I don't think
So
they built it. They're saying it's an ancient earthwork, so like an ancient civilization had something to do with it, like natives to the area.
Yeah.
It's just art. It's all just art.
But people live here?
I don't know what's going on here actually.
It just like...
I don't think... It looks like there's some houses, so I guess people live here.
Yeah, like there's houses back there.
But there's also just a bunch of people
spiral.
hanging out.
Yeah.
And this guy.
What is that?
Oh, I think it flooded. Over here, there's a bunch of flooding and a dead cow.
Oh.
And this dead horse or something.
Yeah.
All that damn company who built this place and left it only half built when they pulled out of town. Apparently, it's a company that ruined an area.
It's always a company. Always.
Yeah, it's got the anti-corporation vibes going on right now. And it has that kind of here and there throughout the other chapters as well. Ah, there's a shadow guy. That's creepy. Also, all the textures are freaking out, and I can't tell if that's supposed to be happening because this game is wild. I'm gonna go over here.
So is he saying like the flood was the company's fault, or that it flooded and the company didn't do anything?
I think he said the company came in, made changes, and then because they pulled out early, it left everything kind of in shambles because they didn't finish their project or whatever.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I got a game of Overwatch. I'll be back.
Okay. Wow, how'd you get out there? These have been pretty nice pigs if they let you ride them like that. The Shadow Man got larger and closer.
Oh wow, he is very big.
I slipped into a stream and held my breath as it carried me deep underground. I was able to climb a tree and from there I spotted a secret path. That makes more sense. Then what happened? You're lucky. That was only the beginning. Then I found the Library of Television. Later, I had to cross the desert of broken glass. That's a nightmare sound.
What?
There were TVs everywhere. As soon as you walked in the door, every channel was playing at once.
Oh. So all I did, man.
I had one eyeball pointed at a cooking show and the other at a crime show.
How do you do? I can barely watch. Like I can't do that. I can barely like.
I watch
watch
YouTube when I
TV.
play games sometimes, but I can't focus on both. Like if there's a cutscene happening, I have to pause the video I'm watching, obviously.
Yeah, I can't. Oh,
If I had stayed any longer, I would have split into 1,000 different people.
pretty much the only thing I can do is like play Minecraft and watch Minecraft because like most of it is the same thing. It's
Yeah.
it's yeah. But anything else, I can't. It's
Got to
hard.
go on autopilot or be able to in whatever you're doing. The place where all the garbage goes. I was traveling with some strange... I kind of want to know about the place where all the garbage goes. You mean the dump? Oh no, it's much more exciting than that. What they do is they take some water out of the ocean and replace it with garbage. Oh no.
What?
I like the big fire better. The fire grows bigger and bigger as we pile on more garbage. Someday it'll burn out of control and all will be lost.
Yeah, the world will end.
The fire is maintained by ancient dinosaurs. They burn themselves so many times there's nothing left but oily bones.
What? I'm so confused.
So either right now we're hearing just this game go out of control and tell a wild story that is actually canon in the game, or this person is telling this other person about a dream that they had. I can't figure it out yet. Oh wait. This is stuff that happened. So neither of those people look like Ezra, the Ezra that I'm thinking of, who is a kid, the one that I met.
Maybe he's grown up.
Yeah, maybe this is in the future. Maybe we're not going to see the guy because he's dead, because he was a little on the older side. And now we're getting to hear about them recapping their adventures, because I did get to ride in a big truck and on a tugboat, and he did hang out with an old dog and some musicians. That's crazy. I liked my dog a lot. I hope we get to see the dog again. Then we both had quite an adventure. Wow, I'm jealous, but I won't let it ruin our friendship. What? We should stick together. Yeah. You need your friends. Yeah, I don't know where we are now, but apparently it's in the future, which would make sense. It's now... See, it's all coming together. At first, I had no idea what was going on. Now I kind of have figured it out a little bit.
Was the spirally area in the other games, or you?
No, I don't know where we are.
Oh.
I'm only piecing it together a little bit at a time. I know that one guy and what he is talking about now. Waffles for any weather. Waffles, with an apostrophe, meaning this place is owned by someone named Waffle. I guess.
Oh.
Some horrifying noises going on. George scanned the shelf. He quickly found the book he was looking for. There were only a few dozen left. More shelves than books now. The result of an experiment called the New Selection. Privately, he called it the Purge. but only privately, in small groups of reliable complainers. The unspoken rule was to hold back criticism as long as possible. Experiments needed time to unfold naturally without the interference of doubt. George would have preferred to complain more freely. Even the scheduled feedback circle sessions had been losing their teeth lately. He thought, a trend that coincided with Fraser's increasingly central role in the community. Fraser proposed and executed experiments just like any other community member, but his experiments had a scorched earth quality. They were all destructive. He moved from one area of community life to the next, in search of excess to cut back. Lately, he turned his scythe to the library. The new selection meant decimating their store of books according to Fraser's own inscrutable criteria. This is very communistic. Now we are guaranteed something vital every time we take a book from the shelves. No more time lost to printed chaff. Fraser's colorless voice echoed in George's mind. He felt like spitting. Instead, he tucked the book under his arm and set off for the woods. Okay, this place has seen some shit. Yeah, greeting meow. I don't know who Rita is, but hello.
Pet me, kitty. What?
Close enough.
Yeah.
The ones who built this thing. Intrigued meow. Now I am intrigued. Really? That's what they wrote. Ah. Somewhere up to Florida. And then here. Skeptical meow.
So where are they?
She's just talking about the ancients. Very spooky. Or natives who built this like land ass thing. They apparently were seeking or like following bird migrations. See, I don't know what's happening because now we're looking at this older lady maybe and this young kid, and now it still says Ezra. So I don't. It said Ezra for 3 of the interactions, human-to-human interactions we've seen so far. I don't understand what's happening because that.
Maybe you are Ezra, like Dragonfly.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe these are scenes from his life. I am very confused, but
Yeah, that's another option. Is like Ezra is just like.
these are like memories or something.
I did just hear Emily like groan very loudly. I was like.
She tried to spook me with her face mask.
Oh, it sounded like she was pushing.
They're goldfish.
They're good.
Surprised they survived the storm, actually. I can hear myself now.
Oh my god. So there's just gonna be a part where Emily joins and you hear fuck from a random person.
That's the running gag in our streams.
What?
Emily joins halfway through and then shouts obscenities.
Hey now.
She didn't have to join, she can just shout and you can hear her from your end.
I want to be a part.
Join the chat.
I can't. You'll hear me.
You have to go in the other room to do
But
it.
I just sat down.
So apparently there was a storm, which I guess is what caused the flooding we saw earlier.
Yeah, that makes sense.
No, nobody needs to live here. It needs to be revamped. Shadowman. Can I go this way, or does it keep rotating? Both. Most of the houses still look okay. Flooding was... Oh, wait. Here's some more flooding. Oh, I'm back to the beginning. Okay. Oh, we're back with everyone I know. Okay. Well, the mailbox says 5 Dogwood Drive. 5 Dogwood Drive is the place I've trying to get to this entire game for all 5 acts. It is how the reason we were trying to get there is because the old guy that you play as originally is a delivery driver, and he's trying to deliver this thing to 5 Dogwood Drive. And after talking with a bunch of people, he finds out that he has to take Kentucky Route 0, and thus here we are.
Yeah, I guess you made it. It's the mailbox, says it.
Yeah, this is great.
Is Clara just trying to break
I
in?
guess so.
Clara, what the hell?
Yeah, maybe their name's on it. It just showed up, the house. Oh, this is your place? Weird time for new construction, but what do I know?
Wait, the house.
Who is she talking to? Is she talking to Ezra?
Oh.
No,
Emily.
I don't know. This house is new? No, this isn't our place. You don't know who lives here. You don't know who lives here? Maybe that was the inflection. Shrugs. So nobody knows who lives here, obviously. That's a robot sound because these musicians are robots. Forgot to say that.
Oh, they're... Oh. Interesting.
Strangely comfortable.
Is this the house? What kind of house is
This
that?
is barely a house. It's actually quite spacious. Good joke.
What? What? It's just a tunnel. It's shaped like a house.
Well, somebody ordered some furniture. Yeah, so the guy's a delivery driver for an antique furniture company.
Oh. Okay.
Which will make it make more sense. Sorry, I'm remembering these things as we go.
How is the light in there great? There's no light. I mean, there's the outside coming in where you can only see like half of the inside with light.
Oh yeah, Shannon was a TV repair person, and she would see like visions in the TV static.
Shannon.
It was pretty wild.
On.
You got to see one of the visions in one of the previous chapters. It was fun.
That's cool.
Yeah. Know what I mean, ma'am? So Johnny is the male musician and likes to call the other one ma'am. Yeah, but who's the audience? Everybody's leaving.
Who's the other? Oh, Junior.
We could put on a play for all the animals.
Yeah, do that. You got a kitty and a fire.
We saved what we could. So yeah, this group of people that you've met along this way, along your path, ended up in this ravaged
Yeah,
town.
like Ezra is a child, right?
Who is this? Affirmative, meow.
Race Ezra.
Yeah, Ezra's the kid. This is the form I recognize him in. He's now racing this cat.
Go.
Stop.
Go.
Go.
I'm getting distracted from the whole story. Aha, I
He's so
win.
fast.
I am cat. Hear me now.
Meow.
Ah, you lost. I guess.
I don't know. There was no clear finish line.
The stream froze
Wait.
for me, so I don't know what happened.
Who are these people? Oh, it's Johnny.
Let me refresh.
Well, and it isn't just the rodents. The floors are mostly rotten. Most of them have good bones. It's just these ones with the power company built that are rotten. Ah, the power company.
Yeah, my internet broke, I guess.
Oh no.
I'm not able to watch anymore, so. Yeah, it's like stop it. Like, it's just buffering for me.
Huh. Wonder if it's me or you.
That's probably me. We figured out there's something wrong
Are
with
they
my
protesting?
internet.
Oh, okay.
I guess. I don't know what's the issue. Yeah.
I'm double checking mine. Okay. It looks smooth on my end, so I guess that's...
Yeah.
You might want to restart or something.
I will continue watching when I can. I just can't currently. I'm sorry.
Alright, good luck.
Looks fun though. Have fun.
There's definitely a dude delivering furniture. He disappeared. All the VCRs are shot. Oh no. Sad meow. The garbage truck. It's Junebug. Oh, there's them good vibes. What changed? The runway's got some cracks in it, for one. Hell, we can always fly. And ultralight, it looks like it's running actually. Oh, that's a fan. Garbage truck. I guess we'll keep circling. Marianne. Wanda is snoring. Dead asleep. Another interaction with Ezra, maybe. Oh, and the bird. Ezra's brother turned into a bird or something like that. Something wild. Slow-mo crow. Anxious scraping noises. How'd they manage that? Yeah, you can talk to birds, I guess, now, since... An indignant caw.
Caw-caw.
Makes sense to me. you stick around to help, Mr. Crow? Guess we better get started. Said stone has no name on it. Maybe it was his choice. It's good they honored his wishes. Yeah, a burial's not for the dead. The seer reclined high in a tree, carving fine details into a small wooden pipe. She loved this spot, the height, the distance. She was always at a distance, watching everyone work. From this height, she could see the earth movers shaping the mounds under the draftsman's supervision. She could see him inspecting his plan, the drawing he'd made from her game, the map. Her game. Oh, we're making our rounds. Now that we're back, this guy's pulling a horse out of a ditch. That's unfortunate. Choppy seas today, Captain. Clyde lay on his back on the runway, hands folded behind his head, halfway between dreams and the afternoon sun. He entertained the momentary delusion that he'd survived a plane crash and was vaguely unhappy when the dream faded. The runway smelled like oil, years of leaky light aircraft taking off and landing. All the state said they wanted was to knock down some trees, many trees, and build a road tying this small town to the larger web of streets and highways that entombed the rest of the country. Entombed is a good word. But Clyde and his inner circle of stunt pilots turned mail carriers knew that a road would be the end of their secluded paradise. Fanciful meow. Coffee and tunes. Alright, we'll continue in this circle. Junebug. Maybe we should open him. Scolding meow. He says not to open other people's mail, kid. I know what he said. But if they're not even here to open it themselves, I won't tell a soul. Specifically this soul, who's about to contact us. Ominous. What is she talking to? The wheelbarrow? The flowers? The wheelbarrow. Probably. Those guys got up. Oh, it's getting darker. Does it work? I don't know. I think you wind it here. No, it doesn't work. I could probably fix it. Oh, you could definitely fix it, man. And then you'd have a new robot friend. Then I'd have a new robot friend. Ah, someone's painting. No, miss, they don't scare me at all. If you met them, you'd feel the same way, I'm sure. There's a very old one, and nobody can quite figure her out, but I can't imagine she means any harm. Is he talking about the shadows? I'll leave the radio on for her at night, somewhere between stations, so it's just hissing. She likes the hissing, I think, though I can't say why. What is it about the radio they love? They all love it. Music in Nashville. Bus back to Lithuania. Feel bad I won't be here to care for them anymore. Isn't that something? Beginning to think I might stay here. Is that ridiculous? I'm glad to know someone will be here around after we're gone. Interesting. This guy's pretty bummed out. He's talking about the horses. Of course, not the shadows. I'm dumb. Maybe? I don't know. I never know, for sure. It's a lot of birds. Ah, what a mess. I feel like I should give you a tour, but let's skip to the good part. Any questions? Did it have a secret name or just a regular one? Oh, I try not to learn any secrets if I can help it. Keep the mystery alive. My friend Bert says the work of history is to find a pattern in the unasked questions. In the evening, when the Chinese wall was finished, where did the masons go? Yeah, this is a special place. I feel a little guilty. There's Junebug creaking along. But it's time to move on, you know, for me, anyway. What's good, little dude? We were talking about the library. Is this your family? This is good. Ezra looks at Johnny. Johnny looks at Junebug. Junebug looks at Ezra. I want Ezra looks at Junebug, but I'm not going to get it. So we'll go with this. Yeah, that's right. This is my family now. Ah, confiding trust. Ron dug a grave. Yikes. Hey, this book's in pretty good shape. The City of Ladies. Interesting. Before that is the company store. Oh, sure, I worked in a mine for a bit. Then you know all about it. Never enough, we had to start a garden. Oh yeah, I saw that. I wonder if we could get it started again. Yeah, it's in rough shape. Well, this place has been through worse. Right before the power company pulled out, I was in fear of my life half the time. Well, I know I'm not sticking around. You think you'll do anything with this place? We'll think of some. What are the acoustics like? Okay, didn't expect that. 3A, lay paper flat. 3B, bring bottom left corner up to top right corner. 3C, crease with firm, steady pressure along diagonal fold. Nikki applied only gentle pressure. Looser flowers felt more alive. She rolled her wrists. It was the 6th hour of her assigned company store shift, and she'd made dozens of flowers. Ron had bought a bouquet and cleaned out their stock that afternoon. 11. Repeat steps 4A through 7 for each petal, taking care not to rip the filaments from step 9. She put Ron's bouquet down in the sales ledger as romantic bouquet. But really, he was just buying in bulk at a small discount. Since the company started allowing resident workers to donate paper flowers to Aunt Connie for civic enthusiasm points, exchangeable for sick days, they had become kind of a shadow currency for local trade. A commotion outside caught Nikki's attention, men yelling, blows landing. She put down her work and stepped out just in time to see the crowd disperse. So those are paper flowers. Squirrel chasing. Right in the box. Clyde and Cass sat cross-legged in the shade of the light aircraft. Cass shuffling cards and Clyde absently flipping through a stack of unopened letters. Cass played cards and told fortunes with the same deck. Sometimes she'd switch it up mid-game or mid-divination until you never knew whether you were winning or losing, or if good luck in the game might mean bad luck in some other part of your life. Demand for aerial stunts having faded almost completely, many of their company having died or aged out of the profession, Clyde and Cass found for their remaining pilots a steady flow of contract work, delivering mail to remote rural areas. But this place was abandoned. Cass's cards predicted they'd be here for quite a while. Rita tore up weeds. Elmo stood next to her with a bucket. She passed him the uprooted weeds, and he stuffed them in the bucket. They worked this way for a few hours. Dark clouds drifted slowly closer, but wouldn't arrive until evening. Rita and Elmo left to get some tea. The bucket of weeds sat warming in the sun. The dandelions wilted, and the clover dried. Some wayward insects continued to eat. When Rita and Elmo returned, they assumed the same roles and continued working. The garden was coming along as well as they could hope, given months of neglect. When the plant shut down, the company abruptly pulled out of the area and took a large part of the town's population with it. This included the Carver family, who had tended this garden, the largest and most productive in town, for years. Now the garden would be cared for by a new family, and feed what was left of the town and whatever it became next. They didn't know much about gardening, but they were prepared to learn on the job. They knew for sure they would plant tomatoes. Those had grown well from this garden in the past. Rita and Elmo worked until it started to rain. The rain washed their sweat into the dirt. Same stuff. Oh, there's more. There's a table in here now. What? This cat does not care, though. Ah, they're trying to start the ultralight. Yeah, I'll miss them for sure. Beautiful creatures, and so thoughtful. I bet. Where do you think you'll go? Everybody's leaving, not that I blame them. Sometimes you only need a few people. Referencing back to the concert that I attended with them. It was me and, I think, Ezra and my dog, basically. It's the whole audience, plus the guy that owned the bar. I think the ceremony is around dusk. The neighbors. Where are you flying to? Flying? Ha! I'm just checking to see if everything's working okay. You could fly her somewhere if you wanted to, though, right? Of course. So why don't you? Here we go. Keep your distance now. Is he gonna go somewhere? All the wheels work. She watched him. She stood in her own shadow. A few deer hunters and talkers walked past, but she had nothing to the seer. She said nothing to the seer, didn't even look. She studied the path. This was the path. The seer had found in her scrying game a series of private dice rolls and inscrutable diagrams. At the end of the route, she'd seen a safe, quiet place, caverns of leathery black birds, a lake of eyeless fish, a towering flame. Now the diver walked the mounds, memorizing the route. He was almost ready. The diver, the person that went down here. Seems to be working okay. Julian's gonna love this. Who? Yeah, it's amazing. Don't be patronizing. Part 4, subsection G, notes on inhabitants. Most have relocated already prior to the transitional event. Bureau of Reclaimed Spaces, right? I can spot you easy now. So we met her at the Bureau of Reclaimed Spaces and had to have her help us get some paperwork done. That place was crazy. There was a whole floor where it was just bears. I'm making a survey of the site for potential reclamation. Alright, well, don't set up shop just yet, huh? Be a little disrespectful. Oh, damn. There he goes. Can we go in after him? In the bushes? Yeah. After the raccoon? Yeah. No. But it's probably full of thorns. Yeah, but raccoon. It's not happening. Okay, okay. Oh, don't pout. Tell you what, if that raccoon comes back into town, we'll leave some food out for him. Yes, ma'am. Thought I could coax it out. Oh, they already made a horse mural. Whoa, what is happening? Are these birds? Nope, don't like that. Mildly ominous. Those parrots. And a heron. Guess that's dusk. Okay then. Those are some brave birds. Wait, it's dusk. He's calling for the memorial. That's Ron. Forgot. Yep. Here they are. I'll be a part of it too. Hey y'all, thanks for sticking around for this. I know we all got places to, well, if anybody still needs somewhere to go, be sure and speak up, okay? I think Ron's heading through the woods tonight, back to the road if you want a caravan. You staying in? No, I'm heading out too. We're going to help James move the image processor to a safe place on the river somewhere. For right now, though, we've got some friends to bury. The neighbors. Nikki has a poem and I have a song. If anyone wants to say anything, though, I'll go first. The neighbors were kind, gentle, beautiful horses, I used to go on walks with the silver one out in the woods by... Why didn't anybody ever give them names? The silver one, well, I guess he was gray, but his coat looked silver in the light, so I always call him that in my head. And the other one is the other one. And I love these horses, but you'd never know it if you heard me talk about them like that. So I'm sorry. Silver one and other one. Sorry I don't have better names for you. You deserve better names. Also, sorry I'm so bad at this. Anybody else have anything to say? We didn't give them names because their names weren't ours to give. The horses were here before us, you know. They came with the people from Central America. You know, the Utopians. The people of nothing. The people of nothing arrived by horseback in October, and their first experiment was to free the horses. That was generations ago, of people and horses. I don't know when we started calling them the neighbors. We should have called them the people, I think. They were the only consistent residents of this place for over 100 years, and now they're all gone. Who are the people now? Elmo's trying to talk about canned carrots. I've got something to say. I just want to say these horses used to crap on my floors, but it never bothered me too much. I never mentioned it to anyone. I didn't want to make a thing out of it, but if we're clearing the air, well, that happened, and it's okay. I mean, recently, too. I was cleaning up horse crap just a couple days ago, but I'm saying it was okay. It would have been okay if any of you wanted to crap on my floors. I just want to say that. I would have cleaned up after any of you if you crapped on my floor. You joined at a weird time.
Yeah, I just started crapping on the floor.
This is the very awkward memorial for the two horses that died. The townspeople have been talking amongst themselves about the horses who apparently arrived with the Native Americans that were like part of this area, and they were basically saying that they were here before any of them. And then this guy's talking about the fact that they crapped on his floors, but he's okay with it.
Oh, okay.
Thanks, Ron. Okay, I guess we'd better move on. Nikki, you ready? See, they got a little horse mural up there already. I've been running around the town until dusk. It just goes in circles, but every time I went in a circle, things changed, and there were different people in different places. It was kind of neat. Basically, the power company came in and screwed up this whole town because they left before they finished their project, and then the storm came through and wrecked everything.
Power company.
And when they left, a bunch of people that were like crucial to the town also went with them because that's their job, so they wanted to keep their job, and it just kind of brought this town to ruin. So pretty much everyone's moving out now.
Yeah. Well, that's this town. Time to F up another one.
It's so good to have you all here for this. I know some people had to leave already. I don't judge anyone for that. Wait, I think the neighbors would have liked this. All of us gathered here, they like to be around people.
On your end?
Yeah.
I see your face cam and mine, but the game has not changed in any way.
Huh. Let me check my feed.
I thought maybe it was me at first because I had the internet issues, which, by the way, is FIFA's fault. FIFA, if you're watching, this is all your fault.
Weird. Yeah, the game hasn't changed. Okay, I'm gonna try to transition scenes and come back.
Okay.
I wonder how long that's been stuck like that. That's not great.
I wish I could tell, like, it just booted back up for me to where it wasn't, like, freezing, so...
Weird. Yeah, it's kind of glitching out. It had some, like, weird graphic artifacts, so... Let me try to do a scene transition. I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick anyways, and then I'll be back. That sucks, because... missed some cool things, I guess. Yeah. You heard me narrating the whole time, so that'll be what it's worth. Alright, I'll be back.
Like a cool blue light. Like a cool blue light. like the cool blue light, like the cool blue light, like the cool blue light.
Let me know if it looks better. Yes, it does. I'm bummed that I lost like half of that stream. So that'll suck. But anyways,
I have to like edit that.
I think we're back. Yeah, maybe I can do some fancy editing for the YouTube VOD and like throw in actual gameplay footage. That'd be hard though. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see.
One of the things that Lur, well, you know, Lur, they take like their like weekly streams
Mm-hmm.
and do their, you know, their
Highlights.
yeah, highlights.
We should do highlights for sure.
Yeah, there's definitely some fun things.
So let's see if it transitions, but it says, Maya, you and our other visitors might not know about the out-of-towner. He came here to work for the company to dig a ditch, and the company worked him good and hard, and for less than he was worth.
Good and hard.
Good and hard. But it wasn't enough. They had to use him up completely. Yeah, it just blacked out. That's weird. Okay. After that, we became ungovernable. First out of shame, then grief, then anger.
This game is mad for whatever reason.
Yeah. I wanted to write this poem because the neighbors led me through that time. I used to sit with them out in the woods. There's a clearing out there. It's about 20 minutes walk, directly away from everything. I mean, there's no reason to walk that direction unless you're going to this clearing. The neighbors liked to graze there. There's a certain grass they like the best. It only grows in partial shade deep in the woods. I'd go out to that clearing and just watch them, in my shame, grief, and anger, and they knew. Any of you who spent time with these horses will remember. They knew just what I was feeling. I could tell. It radiated off them like sweat evaporating. Creatures of pure compassion. And
It
forgiveness.
seems like most of this chapter has been like story based rather than like going anywhere.
Yeah, because it's just a circle around the town over and over. There hasn't been much exploration.
That's probably the like quote unquote scene change.
Yeah, that's true.
Circling around.
Yeah, the other chapters were definitely different, and if you like this one, I would definitely recommend giving it a shot and playing through the other chapters because they're super worth it. That kind of forgiveness Frost when he wrote something we somehow haven't to deserve. When I go, I want to be buried out there in that clearing and feed that grass they loved. Look for me under your boot soles, as the fellow says.
Wait, you said
Frost.
he wrote something we somehow haven't to deserve.
When he wrote something we somehow haven't to deserve. The forgiveness she's saying.
The to deserve.
It's kind of
just-
worded weird, but that's because it's
Yeah.
Frost, and that's like of the time style English. Nikki clears her throat and begins reading from the paper she's holding. So she had a poem, which I am now going to write, I guess. Oh, that was a cool part of the concert that I attended at the bar with Junebug and Johnny. They were singing a song, and you would pick the like lyrics like this.
Oh,
It was cool.
so you got to do it as.
It was a good song. So far, there's been only one musical sting throughout this whole act, which is unfortunate because this game really has some good music. But if you just go to YouTube and search up some Kentucky Route Zero music, you'll see there's a lot of really good ones.
Yeah.
We all leave town and call that town a ghost. What
Did
ghosts?
they bury somebody?
That's
I'm just
that's
now
the that's
noticing.
the two horses that they're memorializing. They buried their
Okay.
bodies.
Okay, I just noticed the big dirt mound.
What ghosts gave this town breath and made it home? And now that breath has gone, we buried it here. What's left is not a ghost, it's just the bones. Our neighbors were the best of us, of course. It's always so. Our better selves, clear of ourselves, where we can see their glory glow. They glow now underground, our friends with love.
Glory, glory, glory. Sounds like it'd be hard to say. But I was curious.
It was hard to say. I'm stumbling across some of this, but it's coming out fine, so.
I think that's just like reading on stream because I was
Yeah.
doing that yesterday and I was like in my mind having troubles, but I think it came out okay.
To greener pastures we might say, but lie. but staring at the clouds, my vision showed.
It was like they're about to commit like a giant like suicide thing.
Here we lay our town and friends to rest.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm doing couplets now. Hold on.
I have to rhyme with.
You don't have to, but it
Uh,
it kind of does it for you. I'm just trying to pick a good one. Here we lay our town and friend to rest. Return their souls in peace and gently roam. That kind of rhymes. That's a good poem. It's dark, but they're going through dark times. Then we buried the horses. Stark. Oh, there you go. Hope that doesn't get us copyright striked.
why?
This is the first song I've ever heard in Kentucky Route Zero that has lyrics that are explicitly sung.
Where all who believe the Savior dear forever shall stay. And having been saved by
Alright, maybe.
grace
Oh.
divine, I'm
There's some
going
shadows hanging
that
out, I just noticed.
way.
Oh yeah.
I'm going
Yeah, I had to go
They're-
end the dream.
I'm
Yeah.
Nice
going that way.
All the songs in this game are like blues focused, like kind of downbeat,
I guess
bluegrass style.
I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, I don't think it's a big deal. This is probably made for this game actually, because it's
Yeah.
good stuff.
Most like indie games like this.
Praises all day long. I'm going that way.
Oh, more shadows.
Yeah, they're really coming in now.
Guess those are all the friends that died.
I guess so. It's a lot.
Yeah.
My Savior may know.
Ezra's
So-
got like a little tie on.
Yeah, I noticed that. I also noticed that Junebug and Johnny are black and white. She has blue hair, so I don't know what's going on here.
Maybe they're
For me, I'm going that way. I know I shall meet him at the gate when trials are past.
I wonder if it's gonna end showing us the dog and the dude. Kind of forgot the dude's name, but
In glory at last. Oh, I believe that when we meet, well done, he'll say.
Are there other people singing with her?
yes, these guys were humming along with her, and then they got louder.
I wasn't sure if it's like, the ghosts are now singing.
I mean, that's possible because it's pretty loud now. Little cat just hanging out. Doesn't really know what's going on, but is empathizing all the same.
Yeah.
Just sing praises all day long. I'm going
That's cool.
that way.
The shadows are like lengthening.
Some people are just like, yeah, okay, I'm done. Bye.
Yeah, everyone's gonna slowly head off screen.
Curious about like Junebug and Johnny back there because they're just kind of by themselves.
They're always by themselves. They're very loner-esque, even though they're with each other at all times. I guess because they're robots, they could just change the way they are colored, but her hair has been blue this entire time. I don't know what happened.
Maybe for the funeral.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. I'm gonna go over here. So earlier I went into this barn when I was making my rounds, and there's a swarm of, I guess, birds, black shadows or something, like spinning in a circle. It was pretty ominous and somewhat creepy, but I guess it symbolized death. Oh man, I can't interact with any of them, so it's forcing me to go off screen with everyone else.
Do they just like drown themselves? Like, time to lay the city to rest, and then everyone just walks into the water and dies.
It's not that dark, but it's pretty dark. Alright, here's some peeps. Y'all just hanging out?
Yeah.
There's Ezra, Johnny, and Junebug. It's weird that I can't interact. I guess I gotta go around one more time. Oh, more furniture showed up in this house over here as I was circling as well. There's like a table. Oh, and now there's a bunch of stuff. Okay.
Oh. That looks nice. It looks more like a church than anything.
It definitely does. They got the podium.
Yeah.
And
But like
the
a
pews.
cult church, not like a regular church.
I guess we'll fade out on this scene. The cat curled up. That's cute.
I guess that's it. I mean,
That's 5 Dogwood Drive. That's where I've been trying to get the whole time. It doesn't hold much impact since we started on Act 5, but if you'd been playing since Act 1, it's more impactful because this is like, that was your destination.
yeah.
Makes me want to play the other ones on stream, but I think it's almost better if you play them yourself because the experience is very personal and like you're reading a lot. So that was cool. I like that.
The end.
A good ending to the series.
Yeah, I enjoyed that. It was different. It was weird, but you know,
What's happening?
Death of a Hired Man.
Is that a chapter name? I don't know what that is. What am I looking at?
Is that like the first act or something?
Maybe? What is happening?
Oh.
This isn't the first act, I don't think, unless I'm remembering correctly.
Death of a Hired Man.
I feel like it's like an extra scene that you unlock.
The Death of a Hired Man is a poem by Robert Frost.
Oh, yeah. That's not surprising. This is clearly a love letter to Robert Frost's style poetry.
Kentucky Route Zero. It says Death of a Hired Man is the 5th and final Kentucky Route Zero interlude. Oh, okay, this is Act 5. Act 5 was the Death of the Hired Man.
But what's happening? This is not something I've seen yet. And it said interlude, which could mean that this is the interlude and there's more stuff.
Let's see. It says the final first interlude of the game has players manipulating the dials of a television as Carrington
it's good to know.
to Harry and later Emily.
Oh, okay, so Carrington's speaking in the subtitles here, but also I'm changing the channel on the TV that they're watching. So I guess I should have been reading their subtitles, but...
It says they discuss his play, the poem it's based upon, and Harry's relationship to his help.
Harry's the guy.
The
Can I
delivery
shut
dude?
this place down? Yeah, I think so. Oh, I appreciate the stakes. I don't remember who Carrington is. I think he might be the owner of the gas station you start at. Oh, he's the bar owner that they played their concert at.
So are these based on Robert Frost poems, or is it they're just named after?
I think they're just named after. It's not that linked. It's just that the creators had a kind of a little bit of say in directing it towards Robert Frost and appreciation for him.
Yeah.
Might come by and clean your facilities. What does this do? Nothing. In fact, he suggested he might come by and clean. Oh, he what? I told him never to. Now, Harry, be kind. I told him. See, this is a weird. Whoa, screen door sound. Here he is. Now? Be kind. I'm always kind. How's it look out there, Brandon?
So you're in Carrington's like bar or whatever,
I think it's just.
and there.
It might be his bar or a house. It feels like a house, but I guess this could be like behind the bar top.
Yeah, it says like it's just Carrington like just hanging out and talking, and then the sometimes commenting on what you turn the television to.
Ah. Well, I'll get started. Brandon is here to get started on something. I guess he's a new bartender. What? Just going back, my young friend will check on you shortly. Okay. Oh, he's the janitor. It's just a couple of bathrooms. See, that attitude... Is this gonna be a good or bad thing? Go on back, Brandon. Harry does not seem to like Brandon. I love this bird thing. It's just us and the kids. Oh, hey, y'all, what are you watching? Well, now we're watching this. Some soap opera. Talk show. Oh, that's a game show. Game show. Aw, man, I'm no good at this one. What? You been on this show? No, like following along at home.
I'm just reading a quick like excerpt of Act 5, and it's interesting.
Are we near the end, in the middle, or at the beginning? That's the question I have, as far as like the chapter composition.
That was the end. Like,
Okay,
we're done.
that was the main thing for Act 5.
Yeah, I was just finishing up. It says the Act 5 shows the group dealing with a flood and organizing around Dogwood Drive to deal with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Player controls a cat and a dragonfly. Past echoes are present of people, of when people were still living around the big hole in the ground. And Ron, I don't know who Ron is, but he has to deal with the neighbors.
The neighbors refers to the horses that died. They called them the neighbors because they wanted to like they were here before everyone else basically, so they wanted to make them kind of like people. They didn't want to see them as just animals.
Okay.
Ron's the guy that buried them.
It says the act ends with everyone reunited and mourning the horses with a song in the end, and the player chooses who stays and who leaves.
Did I? Oh no. I know that I had one choice, but I didn't know I chose everyone.
I think that's the whole Act 5, is you end up choosing
Yeah.
who stays and who leaves. The past echoes gather together to mourn their loss, and people discuss their current state and how to deal with life from there.
Yeah, they're at his bar. He's talking about pouring him a drink. Got some quality entertainment set up here on the top of the bar. I'll drink to that.
What?
Just talking. These shows are rigged. They work it out all in advance. All a big con. It's entertainment. That's what I said. That's no reason to lie about it.
Oh, this is okay. Slightly confused for a second.
That's the description of how I've handled this entire series. I've always been slightly confused for a second, and then kind of figure it out a little bit, and then go back to being confused in a cycle.
Yeah, like I was looking at the first interlude, which is limits and. Okay, cat. Cat just fucking fell.
I heard that.
He just rolled off. the it's weird. It's hyped up now.
So, are there multiple interludes?
There's 5. There's one for each chapter.
But I didn't get chapter breaks. I just played through the whole thing.
Oh.
That's weird. The structure of this one was weird. I'm gonna have to look at it as well to figure out what's going on.
Yeah, there's 5 interludes. There's limits and demonstrations, entertainment, here and there along the echo, and then Pueblo de Nada.
Yeah, I had a choice between those and that dial selector before I got into this one. It's just weird that they didn't play in order as interludes for the act. I just played through all 5 chapters in a row, I guess.
It says limits and demonstration is like a work of art puzzle.
Weird.
Did you do that?
I did not. I didn't do any of the interludes. I stayed on that, like, in that town the whole time as the cat.
Okay. Yeah, it says Emily, Ben, and Bob are visitors to the exhibition. They examine and discuss the art pieces open it. So you're just like at an art show for the first one.
Huh. It's weird.
Yeah, it's like there's a basement puzzle. With like a horse and stuff. Yeah, it's just art with some puzzles.
Well, that's pretty much this game, so makes
it
sense.
Says the player controls Emily, and then it's basically the same encounter again in the second act when you're in the Museum of Dwellings.
Maybe I just didn't explore stuff enough. Weird.
Maybe?
That's wild. I don't know. I'll probably go through the interludes on my own after this one.
Yeah.
And I had planned to kind of follow this one up with a card hunter stream, which is basically D&D with cards. So if you want to join that one as well, you can. If you have any other ideas, let me know. I don't want to step on anyone's toes streaming so much, but
Oh, no, you're fine. I didn't have anything planned. It would be cool to play Magic, but I don't have like a setup for that.
yeah, we need to practice a Magic stream.
Yeah. I mean, there's always Arena, like you can play with friends there, but
Yeah.
it's only, it's only the standard stuff.
Yeah, it's kind of boring, especially if you haven't played much, and I have not played much.
Arena's fun in general, but
Yeah,
I think,
we could
like,
do a stream of it easily, but
yeah. No, go, your choice.
I'm wondering when this will be over. They're just kind of sitting there talking. Brandon came in and apparently treats the bar like a home. It's kind of a lost puppy. Ah, The Death of the Hired Man by Robert Frost. There's the punchline.
Yeah, I don't even see, like, in the interludes, it doesn't even have the Death of the Hired Man yet.
Weird. Maybe that's only when you beat it or something.
And I clicked on the entertainment interlude.
Called it something you somehow haven't to deserve. Mean anything to you? Well, is he a Christian man? Frost?
Oh!
Yes, I think he was, with a healthy measure of doubt. Then it sounds to me like the grace of God. You get it when you're baptized. It's automatic. You don't have to do anything to earn it. You just try to be worthy of it. That's an interesting understanding of Christianity. What do you think? Harry, you know I only attend church for the acoustics. Then what's the line mean to you? Oh, I take it very literally. It's a moral claim. There is, for each of us, a place called home. A relationship is inalienable. It's our birthright. No one may keep us from this place. Says who, though? I mean, who enforces it? If God won't, then it's up to us. And I guess you think the same goes for that kid back there? Am I so transparent? So why is it up to us, though? Doesn't his grandma work in a bank or something? Does she? I'm pretty sure I heard that.
You're getting more country as you continue reading.
Sorry, that's naturally where I'm going with this because of, like, it's very country, like,
No, it makes
blues
sense. I just thought it was funny.
themed. So
It's like you started normal, and then as you went, it's just like every root's more and more southern.
It's just naturally where I'm going with the idea of these guys, because I'm just picturing two old dudes sitting at a, like, rundown bar talking. And also it's Kentucky, so.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind a stream of, like, oh God. I've already forgotten the name of it. That dating game.
Oh,
Monster High.
Monster Prom or something?
Prom.
Yeah.
Monster Prom.
That would be a good one,
Monster-
actually,
Yeah.
because of all the voice acting that we did.
Yeah. I think that's the most.
That'd be cool. I've been looking at my Steam library and found a lot of games that would be cool. I think the next one I want to stream is Into the Breach. It's like a strategy game where you have robots and you're fighting kaiju.
What?
You have like a team of 3 robots and you strategically place them on like a grid-based board, and they each have, it's like turn-based, and you have to defeat the monsters that spring up from the ground without letting them deal damage to like buildings in the area. It's really cool, actually.
Interesting. I like the art.
Brandon fell asleep in the bathroom with a roll of toilet paper as his pillow. That's funny.
What? Is he that drunk? Didn't he just get there? Didn't he show up to fix something?
Alright, I guess I can head back there at any time.
Yeah. Oh wait, it marks it off when you do it.
Yeah, that's neat. I'll revisit those. I don't think that's super interesting for streaming material.
Yeah. It looks like it's just like story.
Yeah, it's cool for someone that finished the game, obviously, but okay. Let me end this stream and then we'll come back. So, thanks for tuning in. Kentucky Route Zero is good. Go check out the other acts. See you later.
Fucking play it.